All right. I said many things. I don't know how many weeks ago, I said there would be a poem ready. There's no poem today. Fuck. I need to get back to learning poems. The book is up there. No poem. I also said I would be on time, schedule-wise. And here I am, Wednesday, recording for last week. So I'm late again. Lord, this boy never learns. So we'll start here. My hair. My sister did my hair yesterday and the day before. And we were watching Interstellar. Monday. We were watching Interstellar. It's 2 hours, 49 minutes. Basically 3 hours. So I said, she's 13. She's learning to braid hair and do things like that. And I like getting my hair done. Also, if she does it, it's free. So I told her, hey, practice on me. During the film, I thought she'll do something 2-3 hours max. Perfect. Turns out, halfway through the movie, at the end of the movie, she wasn't halfway done with the hair. Total, it took 7 hours over 2 days. And one thought was bubbling in my mind throughout that 7 hours. And when she finished, I said it. Hey, if you knew it was going to be 7 hours long, you should have told me before, right? Who spends 7 hours getting their hair done? Who just wastes 7 hours of their life doing nothing? That's insane. I was mad. I was really angry. Just holding it in for the duration of the process. And just said it once it was finished. We watched Interstellar, then the next day, but on Netflix, we watched The Boondocks. Or Boondocks, I'm not sure which one it is. We watched that. Then we watched Gospel something on Netflix. Then we started Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I wasn't paying attention to anything. I was just thinking, I'm wasting my time right now. I was just so upset. So I told her, you could have told me, Turns out she didn't know how long it was gonna last. She didn't know. And I was being a cunt because she spent her time, and she's learning, so naturally it takes longer than it normally would for someone who's more practiced than she is. And so I'll tell her today. I said thank you, but I was mad. 7 hours, I was mad. And, it's nice. It's not perfect. Clearly it's done by someone who's quite inexperienced. And so now I have to wear her inexperience on my head. It is what it is. It was free, so there's always that. But yeah, what is said in anger, what begins in anger ends in shame. That's a quote I like, because I'm a person who likes quotes. I like too many quotes probably. But what is begun in anger ends in shame. It's a beautiful thought because it's true. And for 7 hours, my anger was bubbling, increasing with every hour, every minute really. Every time I asked, how many left? And she said 3, but actually she meant 6. 2, but she meant 4. 1, but she meant 3. And so on and so forth. And then the plan for Monday. And so I woke her up around 10 on Monday. Because I said, I have things to do. I need you to finish my hair so I can go out. Being an asshole, I suppose, on one hand. On one hand, I was being an asshole. On the other, you put us in this position here, alright? You have to finish what you started, sister. Plus, it's 10 o'clock. I understand it's the holidays for you, but fuck, 10 o'clock is the middle of the day. I wake up at 6 regardless, weekend, weekday, holidays. I guess teenagers naturally need to sleep more. So I woke her up, told her, you need to finish this. And so I began my day like this. Well, I was awake already, but I began my day once she was awake with waiting as she was braiding my hair. And then as soon as she finished, we left. We were supposed to go go-karting with some friends. One of those friends, Alan, was the one I shot pictures for the day previous. I've done it before, taken pictures like that for another guy named Alan. And that experience was quite annoying and disappointing. Now, it was paid, the first one, with the other Alan. It was paid, I don't remember how much, but it was paid, and that's always good. But he wanted things. He wanted to control the shoot, so to speak. He wanted to shoot in specific places that weren't very interesting. He had planned the shoot himself, partly. All natural light, all outdoors. I was using my video camera, the one that's shooting this video right now, which takes pictures, but you can't look at them on the camera after you've taken them. You can only look at them once you've put the hard drive in the laptop. Therefore, it's useless. So what I was doing was I was shooting video at a very low frame rate, I believe. Yes, I think something like that. So essentially taking multiple stills at once. And not the best way to do this, but that's the only camera I had at the time. And he was quite self-conscious. He wanted certain angles, he wanted to hide some things, and he didn't want pictures that would be, striking and interesting with dramatic lighting. No us, with dramatic lighting. Whereas the day before yesterday, the pictures for the new Alan, my colleague, he wanted something more interesting. And so we got out in Brixton. As usual, I was quite unprepared. My camera, the battery was low. So throughout the whole shoot, I was quite stressed out that it would turn off. And it turned out that as soon as we started, it felt so comfortable and natural doing this. I'm introverted, and especially in public, as an introvert, I shrink. But when there's a camera in my hand and I'm with someone that I know, it's the opposite, right? I feel comfortable and good. Also, it was in Brixton, so where I live, so I was quite comfortable. And we shot pictures, and immediately I'm using a photo camera now, which takes video as well. A Sony A7, the original one. And it's an old camera, doesn't matter. Good lens, quick lens, and then I do the editing, and they turn out looking good in my opinion. But as soon as we started, it was a very sunny day. I just thought this is the opposite of my previous experience. We're being creative, we're trying interesting things. I'm able to shoot from the angles I want. I'm able to control the shoot. I'm able to say we're going to shoot here, we're going to shoot there. Taking advantage of the dramatic lighting from the sun. We found some nice spots. And I was thinking also of the idea that skill, I think, what's his name? Loyle Carner, the British rapper, posted a quote on whatever. He has this quote: the will must be stronger than the skill. And skill is something that can be acquired. It just takes a bit of hard work and focus. Anyone can acquire skill in anything with hard work. But what people call talent, instinct, that's something that is inherent, that you're born with. And I believe skill-wise, I am as good as most professionals out there. As arrogant as that sounds, I believe my knowledge of what makes a good image, my visual literacy, my understanding of the elements and principles of design, which really is the founding blocks of what you need to understand images. I learned that at college, and it was amazing to have this list of things that really breaks down what an image is to its most basic components. If you're taking pictures, especially if you want dramatic pictures, I would say the main thing you need to think about is contrast. That's one of the principles of design. Contrast. It's all about contrast. It's really all that matters. Contrast. It's the only thing. It's just contrast. Why do you use a very shallow focal length? Right now I'm using the equivalent of a 40mm on my lens. Now I'm quite far. It is a Micro Four Thirds camera. It's a bit nerdy. But what this means is that the equipment I'm using right now doesn't allow me to blur the backgrounds, to put it in simple terms. Right? It's slightly blurred, but if I was using something else, I'm not going to go into details, I'll be able to do that more. Now, with this lens, it's a zoom lens, so it allows me to go to 40, which is the longest focal length, or I can zoom out to 20, the equivalent of 20mm. Now, the reason I'm using a 50 and shooting into the mirror, back into the room, instead of turning the camera around into using a 20, you'd get the same field of view, but the image will be very different. Now, there will be more of a sense of presence if I put the camera right here on a 20, you'd be much closer to me. When I move, you'd feel that more, and you'd feel more like you're present in the room. But visually, I don't like the way it feels. I would like to blur as much of the background as possible. I would like to create as much contrast. Now, the cheapest, easiest way to do this contrast thing and to create a pleasing image is that. I wouldn't say it's the cheapest, but it's the most foolproof way, because you can do that anywhere, anytime. Doesn't matter what time of day, what location. If you have a very shallow depth of field, which I have on the camera I was using to take the pictures, it's a full frame. I'm using a 1.7, I believe, 57mm 1.4 maybe. That sounds excessive. I'm not sure I have that much horsepower, but something like that. So focal length. Now, the second thing will be lighting. The way I'm shooting this, I have a window here that's lighting me from this side. One thing you learn when you go to film school and you learn about cinematography, and they talk about the Rembrandt triangle, which is this thing here. When the light is placed at the right angle, it's going to light your face on one side, and it's going to light part of your face here. This little triangle, which is associated with, what's his name? Ilgin something? Rembrandt, the painter, who's one of the main painters in the chiaroscuro style, which just means, chiaroscuro is obscure in Italian, I think, something like that. Just means very contrasty. I suppose what I should be doing to get that is look this way. Right? Rembrandt, but I don't really care about that. But so what this does is that I'm lit up, but I'm being lit by the sun or by the sky at the moment, which is acting as a wide, a broad, diffused light source. I'm using white bed sheets right. Well, my bed is white right now because my bed sheets are drying outside. Now, this doesn't mean this is the first time that I clean my bed sheets. It just so happens that it's the first time that I do so and record an episode simultaneously. I clean my bed sheets regularly. But that's not ideal because they're white and I'm white. I was sunbathing yesterday for a long time. I don't know how long. But I'm still pale as fuck. But that goes against contrast, right? Normally it's green, which is darker than my skin. The background falls into the dark because the light doesn't reach. And so that's two ways that I'm creating contrast and making the subject of the image pop out, right? The subject is very pale, very white, so you can catch a lot of light. The background is darker and it's not receiving any light. And the subject is in focus and the background is out of focus. So yeah, my camera setup. I was talking about Alan. So I had my shallow focus lens, low battery, so I had to be quick. I was on autofocus because it's a beautiful thing. And we chose some nice backgrounds. And at some point, we were walking around and he had places he wanted to shoot that he saw. I had places I wanted to shoot. And we're just walking around. We were going in Brixton, there's a store, don't remember what the name of the store is, where they have a big graffiti, the wall is covered, you have Big Pun, you have Biggie, Big Pun, Big L and Tupac on the wall, painted in white against a black background, very striking. Now I thought I'd show it to him. He didn't want to take the picture there. I didn't want to take a picture there either, it's a bit cliche. But I wanted to show it to him. The store was open, so we couldn't see the images, we could see Tupac, that's it. And on our way there, I looked to the left in a kind of tunnel, and there was light slicing across the wall. And we just walked past. But me being someone who cares about images and visuals and who likes to take photos, I'm always thinking about lighting and things of that nature. So we walked past, I saw it, I thought, from where I'm standing, it looks attractive, so to speak. As someone who likes to take pictures, I would gravitate towards that little spot of light against a dark background. But I thought, we have this idea for this specific wall with these images that's striking, and he wants to shoot down there. Do we need to go there? Of course we do, right? I remember in school we had this substitute teacher who told me, you always follow your first instinct, your stomach, your belly, right? That's where your instincts kind of come from. That's something I've been told. And your first instinct, always follow it. And when I apply this, good shit happens. I remember, for example, I used to shoplift at uni. And I got caught twice. But the second time I got caught, well, it's the first time as well, but the second time, I had this feeling. I knew I was going to get caught before I did get caught. But instead of, walking away, was that in heat, you need to be able to walk away in 60 seconds. Instead of walking away, I thought, fuck that feeling, fuck that instinct. I've been here a million times. I'm going to steal those 4 different flavors of smoked salmon, and bring them to my girlfriend and show her, look at this, baby. We're rich, baby. 4 different flavors of salmon, are you fucking kidding me? And 2 fucking Ben & Jerry's ice cream, this shit is expensive. So I'm going to stuff them in my bag and I'm going to keep walking. Then I get to the door. There were 2 doors to enter the shop. It was a co-op. The front door and the back door that was seldom used. And that's what I would do. I'll just come in through the front door, put shit in my bag, and go out through the back door, which was completely, there was no one there, no security or anything. It was in a small town. Then I get to the back door with my bag full of groceries, and it doesn't open. Right? And I knew they were onto me before then, but I thought, I'm smarter than my instincts. So all this to say that I'm trying my best, to follow my instincts as much as possible now. And that day, when we were taking the pictures, I thought, we said we're going to shoot this. Why take that tiny detour to that area with the light? Why? Just keep walking. Doesn't really matter. And when I ended up saying, all right, let's check it out. And we took some good pictures there. It was, once we got there, it's like you get this instinct. And I get this instinct. And I'm still not used to following my instincts. So I get this instinct and I'm kind of unsure about it. I don't realize how valuable and precious this instinct is. So I get it and I'm like, I resist it for some reason. I naturally resist the instinct. That's what I've taught myself. That's terrible. So once again, I resist the instinct. I'm like, fuck it. It's like the instinct is coming and naturally I'm like, well, if there's an instinct to do something, I should go the other way. Why bother? Anyway, we get there and immediately, the instinct is like, I told you, motherfucker. I told you. You should have listened to me. The instinct is like, you fucking idiot. I'm always right. So why don't you just listen to me? So we get to the wall and we take some dope pictures. Yes. And the first area where we took pictures, which was the area I had in mind that I wanted to shoot at, I think we got some alright pictures, right? So the one where my brain and my thinking and my planning, were in charge, the thing I thought, we're going to go there and it's going to be good and we're going to take some good pictures. Wrong. And then when my instinct says, go there, and my brain is like, let me think about this. I don't like to follow my instincts. And then my instinct turns out to be right. And he wanted to shoot some in another area on the top of some stairs. As far as we could see, when we walked on the street and looked up at the stairs, I couldn't see much light. I couldn't see much appeal. It looked like it was all in the dark. But once again, I said, let's try it out. And it was even better. The light was amazing. It was even better than the previous one. I think that's where I took my favorite picture. Follow your instincts, kids. And so right now I'm in a situation this year, and especially the past few weeks, where I have more work than I have ever had, especially and definitely than I had last year. And it's a great feeling. And last year I shot the photos for the other island. I wasn't happy with the pictures, wasn't proud of them, didn't really enjoy the whole experience of taking them. And 2 days ago, I took some pictures. I was able to plan a little bit, to have control, to use dramatic lighting, to have fun really. And to edit them in a style that I felt was appropriate. So really make something that I wouldn't say I'm proud of, they're not that good, but I'm getting, getting this sense that I'm getting better, or I am creating something that is on the level that I believe I am currently, or getting there. I'm also making a music video. I gave the first draft to my friend Adam yesterday, sent it to him. And likewise, I had shot a few music videos before that, unplanned. I had let the artist say, I want to shoot this, and I want to shoot that, and I want to shoot here, and I want to shoot there. I had let them lead the dance, right? And the videos came out looking, not so good. Sometimes I said, all right, I have this idea. We're going to shoot here, we're going to shoot there, we're going to do this. And they end up saying, oh, how about we do this? How about we do that? And I'm like, I guess they're paying me, fuck it. And once again, I'm reminding myself, I don't get paid enough to waste my time. So no one is paying me enough. So if you want me to make a cheap music video in terms of you don't spend much money, we're going to do it my way. That's my approach now. And the video I sent yesterday for Homesick to my friend Adam, which is the one we had shot previously, unplanned, turned out looking like shit. I wouldn't say I'm proud of the one I've sent him, but I'm happy with the fact that I got to experiment, to make something kind of unusual. And I think the result is quite interesting. And it's given me a sense that I can do a lot more with the resources I have than I previously thought. And the way it worked is we shot that initial video where he said, all right, come over, I have this little idea, we'll just shoot this, improvised. We shot it, both agreed it wasn't good enough. And I said, I have an idea. And I prepared a small video storyboard. I sent it to him. I planned the whole thing. I said, we're going to do this. And immediately he said, all right, let's go. That's a good idea. And I think the video is going to turn out looking pretty cool. And I am an overthinker. I tend to be an anxious pessimist. If life is going good, something bad is on the horizon. That's how I have always thought. And it's something I need to get rid of. But currently, life is as good as it's ever been on every front. Took some photos I'm quite happy with. Made a video almost done that I'm quite happy with. Many things I have currently that I've wanted to have for a while. And so all that's left is for me to lose them now. That's my thinking. And that's just a horrible way to approach my life. But I think that it doesn't matter. I just have to keep doing the things that are improving me and improving my life. And this feeling that something bad is bound to happen soon. This feeling, no, fuck him. Fuck it. Keep going. Just keep going. So that's what I'm going to do. Have to edit another video for Adam, that we shot a while ago. It's going to be better as well than all the videos I shot before those two. So life is good. Life is good and it's scary. Life is good and it's scary. Oh, controversial section. Controversial section. Controversial. I'm not sure. Fuck, my manager, Tashi, who's the only big brother I've ever had, told me today that he saw I have a podcast. And he subscribed on YouTube. Fuck, I have to be careful what I say now. I need to stop talking shit about Tashi. It's so good how this happened, just slowly but surely. Because if he had told me that, a few weeks ago, I might have thought, oh shit, I need to stop it, or I need to plan it more so I don't say anything I shouldn't. But he said it right at the perfect time where I don't really care what I say and how it's perceived and anything of that nature. What the fuck is the controversial thing for today? I don't know. Is that all the controversy I have in me? 2 weeks? Trump and democracy? That's weak. That's weak. I can't go too controversial. It's fucking hot today. I think it's the hottest day of the month, maybe one of the hottest days of the year. I opened the restaurant door to leave, to join free people outside, to be free. My shift was over and it was like opening an oven when I opened the door. Extremely hot. And I won't really take advantage of it. I went, does it count? Here's my controversial opinion. Chilling Not chilling. How do you call it? Lazing. I think lazing encapsulates. Encapsulates? Don't have my laptop. Encapsulate? Is that a fucking word? Fuck it. I think lazing encapsulates. The more I say it, the more I feel stupid. It's a word now, and you know what it means. Lazing encapsulates everything, many things I don't like. Well, that sentence is just beyond stupid. Whatever. Went to the pool yesterday with my girlfriend and my brother. Arrived there, went in the water for 5 minutes. It was alright. I had just had my hair done. I didn't want to get them wet because I'm a little diva. So I thought, fuck it, I'm not really gonna go in the water too much. Went back to my towel and slept for God knows how long, trying to get a tan. And then we left. And that was just a big waste of time. Really. The only reason to go in a pool is to get, I guess, to do, to work out. It's a good workout. But I can't swim. After 2 minutes, I get exhausted. It's like the water is choking me. Water hates me. It's like I'm one of the characters in One Piece. I have a superpower, and so water is my enemy. So yeah, I don't like water that much, to be honest. Every time I go to the water, I'm disappointed. It's like that song, Is That All There Is? I get in the water, I'm like, alright. I went to Corsica last summer. It was the first time dipping my toes in water that wasn't ice cold. I used to go to Brittany in France to go in the water. It's like, it's always fucking raining and cloudy. And when it's hot, it doesn't make a difference because the water is ice cold. You don't want to stay in there too long. So I went to the water yesterday. It was cold, it was alright. Swam a bit. Felt stupid because I was getting exhausted after 2 seconds. And I thought, what's the point of this? And so I went to sunbathe, because that felt like a better option than drowning. And then I finished sunbathing and I thought, great. Wasted 4 hours this morning getting my hair done, half listening at the thing I mentioned on Netflix, the podcast, Cosmic Podcast, whatever, with Duncan Trussell. Lots of information. That was quite fun. That was alright. Anyways, I zoned out after a while. So wasted 4 hours this morning. Then wasted 2 hours going to the go-kart thing to be told that it was full. Then came back home. And then the pool. Wasted time at the pool again. Things that are a waste of time, I know what they are. So I need to stop doing them. So that's my controversial opinion, is that lazing, chilling, going to the pool, sunbathing, that's just a waste of time. That's just useless. And that doesn't even feel good. How can you feel good when you know you're wasting your time? That's a good question, right? You can't. I didn't feel that way previously. I guess maybe I did somewhere, but I was convincing myself that I didn't. I definitely feel that way now. It's a fucking waste of time. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go to a theme park. Well, I guess a theme park can be fun. But mostly, I don't want to do fun things. I don't want to do fun things. I don't want to do fun things. Fun things are shit. Man, it's the first time I say this, but it's true. Fun things are shit. Sometimes, for example, I watch shows with my brother. Good shows. We watched Westworld. Only 2 people who watched the last season of Westworld. American Gods. And when you watch a show that's really good, which those 2 shows are not, I'm sorry, brother, Westworld is alright. It's not that good. It's really good maybe, but it's not great. It's not very, very good. It's really good. When you watch a really, really good show, I guess you don't feel like you're wasting your time. Especially if you're a filmmaker, you're learning things, But most of the time, most shows are shit. Most films are shit. And so if you take chances, you're just wasting your time continuously. So going to the movies is shit. Going to the movies is shit. Going to the pool is shit. Sunbathing is shit. Fun shit is shit. That's what I've learned. That's what I've learned. Andrew Tate says, everyone wants to be happy. The emotion he wants to feel is proud. Yes, we all do. We all do. That's the ultimate feeling. That's better than, oh, I'm happy. Oh, this, oh, that. No, proud. When you've done something and you're proud of it. And that's the high I'm chasing now. Even though I'm getting distracted and taking other highs, and I'm going to watch Foundation with my brother because at least 2 people will be watching it. 3. My manager Roger is watched it as well. We'll watch that. First season was alright, but I guess ultimately it was a waste of time. Just like maybe not Westworld. There were things, I did learn things that might be useful from that show. But yeah, people who chase these fun things, people who actually chase them and really want them, are people who don't have things that truly fulfill them, I think. I think if you actually have a passion and a goal and a mission and things that you're truly passionate about and you're working towards them, these things feel like a waste of time. So I'm so happy I didn't go on holidays these past holidays, because experiencing what that would have felt like yesterday for an hour or 2, that was enough holidays for a year. Even more, it's just a waste of time. I don't want to go someplace where all I can do is drink, party, go to the pool and sunbathe, and maybe read to recover from all that bullshit. I'm anti-fun now. Fun is shit. Go-karting, I guess, could be fun. Last time I went, it wasn't fun because I'm shit at go-karting. I'm not good. I used to be alright when I was a kid. When we went, I used to finish quite high, but now I'm shit. I don't know how to drive. I'm not meant to drive, I guess. Last time we went, first corner, I turned wrong, I guess, and left the track. And then for the rest of the time, I was just trying to catch up with everyone else. And that wasn't fun. So I suppose eliminating activities which don't make you feel better or don't improve you is important. Yeah. We're learning things here, that's good. We're learning things. Every podcast I mention, lots of recurring themes in this podcast thing. I always mention how I watched myself back. And once again, I did watch an older episode just to make myself feel good. It's funny that actually. Making them, I knew eventually I would improve, and I knew eventually I wouldn't be so bad. But I didn't think about the fact that I'll be able to watch them being better in my current situation. Watch those past episodes and think, that feels good. I'm not as shit as I used to be. I didn't think about that. But now watching these old episodes, it's better than watching a show on Netflix. It's really cool. It's really cool. It is really cool. I used to, every time I said or or I used to repeat myself. I say it less now. Try my best. I follow the Andrew Tate newsletter. And it's actually hilarious how he's demonized, so to speak, in public media, and how a lot of people have a negative opinion of him. And he's just a basic motivational speaker. He's sending you an email every day that's just a motivational speech. He has his own flavor to it, and he has his own flavor to it. But it's stuff you've heard everywhere. And I just think, imagine if any one of those persons who has their opinion of him and doesn't really know the character as a whole and just thinks he's been accused of human trafficking. I haven't been accused of human trafficking. Most people haven't. So surely he's a bad person. Just what's the word? I guess follow his newsletter and get a newsletter from him every day. And that will change your opinion. It's going to be a revelation. Oh, he's just some motivational speaker, basically. He's just a guy who wants you to be better. That's really strange, right? And he was talking about that in his podcast with his brother that I started watching the other day. He was talking about that specifically. And in the latest newsletter I read, this idea that practice doesn't make perfect. Now, the way I used to hear it was perfect practice makes perfect. But I suppose he's added to it the idea that reflection is integral to this process. To me, this quote came when I was playing basketball. My shoot my shooting form changed a lot. I remember when I arrived in the UK, at first I was too shy to play, and eventually I started playing, and I was good. I was better than most. And at the time I started shooting like this, which is terrible form. Basketball is so cool. It's such a specific. It's so strange, actually. Just the shooting form, for example. It's so strange. This kind of. Anyways, my shoot was very imperfect. And me being quite lazy and wanting to cut corners, it actually takes strength to shoot from far. And so I used to shoot like this, but you can't have it's happened before, but it's hard to have a good, consistent shoot, to score consistently when you shoot like this, because it's such it's so wrong. Right? You're supposed to actually line yourself with the basket. I used to watch Basketball Breakdown and him talking about how Kevin Durant shoots, which is untraditional as well, but it works pretty well, and it's not bad. He has a very specific way of shooting, aligning his elbows with the basket, aligning his elbow, and then jumping forwards and letting his feet move forwards. Now people have exploited that approach, like James Harden, to get fouls, really throwing their feet out. But in my journey, learning to shoot, I then changed to the way I was able to generate the most force and shoot from the furthest. And I was quite consistent for a while, was to actually go here and push it, which I can't really demonstrate here without a ball, but it's also wrong. But to go quite quickly and shoot it like this and really push it. And that was wrong. And eventually I started shooting more, I guess, like Kevin Durant, and kind of aligning my body, and I was able to get quite consistent. Now, I haven't shot a basketball in more than a year, so I probably can't shoot for shit. But the point is, eventually I heard this phrase, practice makes perfect. And then I heard, perfect practice makes perfect. So if you want a perfect shot that's consistent, it's not about just shooting every day, hundreds of shots. It's about having correct form and shooting. And so that's how I got it in my head, this idea that perfect practice makes perfect. And how it was more important to correct my shooting form than it was to shoot more. Correct it and then practice the correct form. And what Andrew Tate added is this idea that you have to reflect on yourself. Practicing is not enough, you have to reflect. Now that's what I was doing when I was thinking to myself, I need to practice perfectly. But it talks about it in terms of speaking, right? Because if practice makes perfect, then everyone should be an expert orator like him. Now he says he's really good. He's exceptional. He's much better than me, of course. But he makes errors that annoy me. In that specific newsletter, he said, when me and my brother got out of jail, which you're supposed to say, when my brother and I. Now I guess it's a bit picky, and maybe it's just the way he speaks, but I don't like when people say me and. To me, it sounds wrong. You're supposed to say blah 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 and I. And there was another nitpicky thing that he said in the newsletter that was incorrect. Actually, if I'm saying that, I should, check which part it was. Da, 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 da. Oh, where was it? That's the wrong thing. It's this one. Why are you not equally as good? I think why are you not equally as good is not the best way to say it. And it's written, so he has more time to prepare it. Why are you not, I might be wrong, but why are you not equally as good? Why are you not as good is enough, right? He talks about being concise and compendious. Don't say why are you not equally as good? Because what happens when you complicate a sentence and you put extra words, right? You sound less intelligent, right? He talks about being concise all the time because simplicity. is something that is difficult to achieve and requires intelligence. So why are you not equally as good doesn't sound as intelligent as why are you not as good? Because there's the extra word. That's, what's the word? It is, there's a perfect word for it to describe that word. It's, I can't find it. Oh, my God, I'm going to go back to having my laptop here so I can search every fucking word that I can't find. There's a perfect word. Right, when you're talking about being concise and compendious, you do so you don't have, it's a synonym of unnecessary. Redundant. I think that's the word I was looking for. Is it exactly the word I need right now? Redundant. Woo! Redundant. I suppose. Redundant. I think that's the word I was looking for. But so the point he makes is that many people have been speaking for longer than him. So they've been practicing for longer than him. So why are they not better than him? And what he says is that he ruthlessly analyzes himself to correct himself, which is what I'm trying to do here, right? I record it. Well, I share it to make it even more difficult. But I record it, that way I can look back. Actually, it's so annoying when I look at an episode and I make an error in the way I speak. I don't remember, there was a time 2-3 episodes ago, I was talking about packages arriving and I said package instead of packages. And I looked at it at the episode and I was like, because I can speak English, I can say packages, I understand plural. Why did I not say it right? Now, my difficulty with speaking in English and articulating and saying this TH, which is not natural, it doesn't exist in the French language. That's one thing. The only way to work on that is to actually speak more and try to articulate as best I can. But making an error that someone who doesn't know how to speak English properly makes, that's unacceptable. So I know I make these errors from time to time, and I only notice them when I watch the episode back. And that annoys me, because why did I say package instead of packages? And why did I not correct myself afterwards? I need to be paying more attention to what I'm saying. Going back to Top G, talks about reflection, the importance of reflection. Now, once again, in the story about my shot in basketball, that's what I did. I reflected and I realized that I was practicing wrong. And I suppose it's simple, it's very true. And the thing about speaking is that it's one of those things that we all think we've practiced so much. We take it for granted. Or most people don't really think about how they could be better at speaking. That's not really a concern they have. It's not obvious how you can practice improving. It's not obvious. At school, you learn to speak, but you don't learn how to speak. You don't learn how to be persuasive and charismatic and concise. You do to a degree, so I suppose concise. If you're writing an essay, your teacher will tell you, that word is not needed here. Take it out. I know you're trying to reach the 2,000 words limit, but just write the text in white, and then no, that doesn't work. But we're not really taught how to speak. It's a skill that people who are successful, a lot of them, have, being able to speak. How to make friends and convince people. I think that was the book I read. The ability to speak is so powerful, but people don't really think about it. And it's just one of many things that one needs to work on. The ability to speak. But I'm improving. I'm happy. I'm improving. I have improved. And I'm still improving. So I'm happy. What can I say? I'm happy. What can I say? I'm happy. I watch these old episodes and I think, It's working. It's working. I had this instinct at first. Do this. Keep doing this. And now I'm reaping the rewards slowly but surely. And there's the evidence. Also, I've had messages, comments on videos. One was, why is this being recommended to me, or something of that nature? Another one. And, once again, quite a few weeks ago, like 10 weeks ago, I might have thought that might have made me self-conscious and think, maybe I should stop. Like, what if more negative comments start piling up? What if, But I don't give a shit now. And my very first attempt, I did receive, I think, some similar comments, and immediately I turned red and I thought, what did I do? Exposing myself, giving people an opportunity to attack me in a vulnerable state where, once again, as I said multiple times before, as I have stated before, this is a vulnerable position and a vulnerable thing to do. And, bring them on. Bring on the actual negative comments. I want people to start piling up on this, because I don't give a shit no more. I think I've run out of things to say now. Well, mission accomplished. I've done the podcast for this week. Now I have to do some editing. Thank you. Thank you. I'm noticing some strange veins on my body. So now I'm going to work out not for muscle growth, but for vein growth. Because I have these veins here, can't really see, but they go like this. Choop, 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 like parallel. I've never seen this before. They go like choop, 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 choop. And it looks cool. Looks like a superhero outfit. And so I'm thinking, like, if I don't know why they're appearing, but if I can do anything, if working out more is going to make them appear more, like, that's such a strange thing. It's a weird flex. I suppose you call that a weird flex. It's like just a person with a normal body, but then these veins, like, if they were really thick, that'd be funny. So now I work out for vein growth. I want more veins. I'm gonna stand by my woman now. Alright, enough. Thank you. Oh yeah, I just realized these files that the video camera records are super heavy. So I should aim to make these as concise as possible, because the more I keep speaking right now, the more time it's going to take to export the video and upload the video. So right now I'm fucking myself in the ass, talking about nothing for no reason. Right now, editor version of myself not right now. It is right now, to him, to you. Right now, you're exporting this video and you're thinking, why did he keep speaking? Why did he not finish earlier when he was finished speaking? Also, right now, a version of myself 10 weeks in the future is watching this and thinking, oh, look at this guy. He's not as good as me. You're better than me. I guess from here, I can't speak to my past self, only to my future self. You're better than me. You better be. So you are better than me, and you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, that feels good. It feels good to watch this awkward creature, this awkward, pale skin creature just waffling. And here I am on the other side of the screen, And I'm not waffling, I'm confident. I'm concise. I've prepared my poem, right? You prepared your poem. You have your poem recited. You have your controversial section, your Cantona section. You've done a lot of fun stuff this week. Interesting, not fun. You're proud of yourself. You did some good stuff. You worked hard. Life is good. You're being positive, optimistic. I like you. I'm not talking to the editor who's editing this right now, right? Because right now I'm doing everything I can to annoy you. I'm trying to annoy you. But the version of me in 10 weeks who's looking back at this video, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You kept going. 10 more weeks. One day we're going to get to 52 weeks, which is a year. One day we'll get to 100 weeks. I'm talking to you, version of me, who's reached 100 weeks. You're looking back at this video and you're thinking, wow, it came so far. You're thinking, I kicked this dumb, stupid vape addiction. That's what you're thinking. Can you believe you used to vape? Can you believe that? That's crazy. Can you believe you used to weigh 75 kilos? Now you weigh 85 kilos. 100th week version of me. You weigh 80 kilos, 85 I'd say. That's good, 85, that's a good weight. Soon you'll get to 90. Keep going, keep going. All right. Can you believe you used to be uneloquent? That's not a word, but I just made it up. You used to be uneloquent, right? Can you believe that? And now, look at you. Listen to yourself. 100-week version. That's in a year. That's in a year and a half. Can you believe you used to live in your mother's house, your mother's flat? Can you believe that? Look at you now. Can you believe you used to have, well, 15 pounds in your account, and in the other account, 135 pounds, which will be gone for me, for this version of me, in 2 days at the restaurant. You're keeping that money on the side for the restaurant where you're going to spend more money than you should. But you're going to make your family happy. So you're going to be proud of that. You were proud when that happened, right? Did it go as well as you had planned? Did they enjoy the food? Look at you. A year and a half used to be this. In this room, in your mother's flat broke, very few friends, a few small projects on the way for very little money. Look at you now. I'm proud of you. I suppose the first word that comes to my mind now is cringe, right? Look at this fucking guy talking to the camera like a crazy person. That's cringe. That's cringe. Look at you now, you don't give a fuck at all. That's good. I guess I'm going to add a section where I talk to my future self now in every episode. I'm not going to do that, don't worry. Look at you now. This is level 1, right? This is 1. You can do 2.5, probably. You can do 2.5, right? 100th week version of me. You can do 2.5 now. That's good. Kept going. Maybe you can do more. Maybe I'm underestimating you. Version of me in a year and a half. Look at this. That's how far you've come. That's how far you've come. And once again, one last time, shout out to the version of me who's going to edit this. Because now it's what? Woo! It's going to take a while to edit. Well, not to edit. It's going to take a while to upload and to export. And you have things to do on DaVinci Resolve. So I'm wasting your time so badly right now. And you hate time wasting. But I don't think this was a waste of time. I don't. Alright, I'm done. Or am I? Am I done? Ooh. Am I done? Am I done? Are we gonna get to an hour? Are we? Every minute. Gigabytes. Dozens of minutes. Alright, I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm sorry. Sorry, Abe. Sorry, Abu. I'm done. But I'm proud of you. I'm actually thinking, can I go into another subject right now to make this longer? I wanted to do a... Yo!
T'as des centres pour le lunch?
Nope.
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 Tu gardes des centres normalement quelque part pour le lunch?
Nope. Not anymore. I wanted to do a 2-hour one. Why? I don't know. I suppose that should be part of the exercise, right? I remember one of the early episodes, someone said, oh, that's good practice. Talking for an hour continuously is difficult. And I thought, I didn't think about it that way, in terms of the difficulty of speaking for an hour straight. How that can be difficult. I didn't think about that. But I suppose the episodes should be getting longer now. That should be part of the difficulty, increasing the difficulty, making them longer. Obviously, that's not a good long-term approach, because I have things to do. But what if? Okay, I'm gonna cut this one pretty soon. But I should do a 2-hour one. Or I guess I should start by doing a 1 hour and a half one. Or I guess I should start by actually having my poem ready and my controversial section ready. Yeah. But I don't like doing things the right way. So I guess I'll do a 2-hour one soon. Or 1 hour and a half soon. Also, I need to do an interview. I've told my mother I would interview her. Alright, I'm gonna stop this before I